Hi, this is Dan Perry, and I'd like to discuss the golfmesquitenevada.com website. They did a lot of advertising during the big break this year on the Golf Channel, and I think there are a couple of small items they may have tested changing that may have increased their conversion. And also, I'm hoping that you might learn something from this as well to put in place on your own website. So, the idea of the Golf Mesquite, Nevada website was to have users build a vacation. So, let's jump right in. I like that the first option is the travel dates right off the bat. I think it's pretty clear as to what I'm supposed to be doing here. I think it may have been more beneficial if there was a begin here graphic or a start here graphic or something like that. Also, I think there may have been nice to see a little funnel, a little path that I'm going to be following. If you look on Amazon's website, when you buy a book there, you'll sign in, then you'll select shipping and payment, whether you'd like to gift wrap it or not, and then place your order. I think it would have been beneficial if there was something along those lines on this site. So just to let the user know where they are in the conversion process. So we will book Valentine's Day weekend. I also noticed there's two 07s here. I think it's real easy to remove one of those. It's definitely not a big deal in the grand scheme of things, but if you've ever read Steve Krug's book, Don't Make Me Think, you know that every time a user during a conversion process has to actually stop and think, the website has probably failed. So I think I would consider removing one of these just to make it that much easier on the user. So once again, we'll go through the 17th of 2008, and we'll choose Go. So now we have the choices of golf courses. So the first thing that comes to mind for me is, well, which was the main course that they played on the show? If I don't remember the name of the course, was it the Canyons? Was it Casablanca? Was it Coral Canyon? I really don't remember. So I would have highlighted whichever course it was that they seemed to play most often. If they played multiple courses, which ones they played for the final round to choose the winner, things of that nature. Just highlight the specific courses since it is so tied in so tightly with the big break. So as I choose a more info link here, it actually opens in a new window, which isn't necessarily a terrible thing, just a choice that was made. So now we have all sorts of information on the course. And if you notice at the top, there's the option to view the scorecard. As I view the scorecard, I see a lot of information. The problem here is there is no way for me to navigate back. I'm not given the option of moving back to the previous screen. I can click on course information, but nothing happens. The only option I have is to close the window and then reopen it if I'd like. So I think that's a small detail, but once again, one of those things that's probably pretty easy to fix. So let's try playing this course on Thursday at 8 a.m. We will try Casablanca on Friday at 8 a.m. And we will go to Coral Canyon and we will play that on Saturday at 8 a.m. So now I've chosen the dates and I've chosen the times. As I scroll down to go to the next step in the process, the button says select tee times. Well, I thought I just did select my tee times. So in this case, I may consider changing the verbiage on this button. Instead of select tee times, possibly confirm tee times. Maybe even a next here would have been a little better. But I think select may be the wrong term for what's specifically happening. So as I hit the button and I move forward, now I am in fact going to confirm my tee times and the number of players. So we will try to stay as close to 8 a.m. as possible, since I am an early bird. This is fine. It looks very good. The next step in the process is to select lodging. Love the name of the button. Very good. So let's move forward. So now I get to choose my lodging, and it gives me the tee times that I made. I think this is a very nice touch. So as we move forward, here's Casablanca. The next one is Eureka. So let's look at Eureka. Let's check out more info. So the difference here is when I chose more info for the lodging, it opened up on the same page, but where I chose more info for the golf courses, it opened up in a new window. So I think the inconsistency is definitely not beneficial. I would have chosen one, whether open a new window or open in the same, and use that for the entire conversion process. The other issue here, which is probably the biggest issue on the site, is now that I'm on the page, now that I have the option of reading about the Eureka Casino Hotel, I read all the information. I think it's great. It looks like a perfect fit. So let's select this hotel. Well, nothing happened. So the first thing I think of is, well, what did I do wrong? Let's try it again. Let's select the button again. And nothing happens. Nothing changes. Nothing's loading. So what error did I make? Where did I go wrong? So I start scrolling around and start looking around, and oh, here's another one. Okay, I'll select this. And once again, nothing really happens. In addition, this actually looks the same as far as the style of the button, but nothing's happening there either. So the question is, what error did I make? And so my only option for this page is to choose other lodging. Now the reality is the Eureka may have had plenty of rooms, but I don't know that because I wasn't able to select that option. Just as a note, this was consistent across every page. So if I select the Casablanca instead, that didn't work either. So now I've hit a wall as far as the conversion process goes. So this definitely is probably the biggest issue that I saw with the site specifically. So let's choose other lodging. The reality is that if you don't choose the More button, and off of this page you choose to stay at a certain hotel, then you have the ability to stay there. And then everything seems to work out fine. So let's choose the Eureka, which we originally wanted. And everything looks great, and these rooms look wonderful. Let's choose 2 adults and 1 room. And let's review and price. And now we're at the point where we are actually at the form of the conversion process. So a couple things about the form, not a huge deal, but just a couple small things. One of the things I noticed was where you input the card number, it doesn't state whether I should use dashes, whether I should use spaces, whether I shouldn't. I think it would have been nice, especially since there's room here for like a capital E, capital X, colon, 1, 2, 3, 4, dash, 5, 6, 7, 8, dash. Or you could have added, no spaces, no hyphens, something along those lines. I also feel that could have been done for the phone number as well. So the home phone, do I include dashes? Of course, I probably include the area code. I think an example with the parenthesis, the first 3 numbers, the parenthesis, I think that would have been beneficial here as well. Finally, the only other issue I see here is the email address. Most of these forms, especially since they've taken a pretty long process to get to this point, you may want to have them confirm the email address. They're at a point where they're almost done. They can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Here's the confirm button. They could easily mistype 1 letter here, 1 number, and put in the wrong email address. And since this is being used for the majority of the notifications, and a lot of information is going to be passed through the email, I think it's definitely worth the time to add a confirm email address link right underneath it. Finally, here's the confirm button. Underneath it, it says, if the confirm button is clicked more than once, you could incur double charges on your credit card. Boy, what a scary sentence that is, especially since it's beneath the confirm button. So what if I hit the confirm button twice and then I read that? Now I'm worried I might be charged $1,600, $1,700 on my credit card. It's a pretty big negative. So I would consider around the confirm button itself, maybe above it, maybe beneath it, click only once, only click once, something along those lines, so the user has that information prior to clicking on it. At the least, maybe move these 2 buttons beneath this note. Definitely make it a larger font. The average person probably is in their 40s, maybe 50s buying this package. Clearly the site isn't what it used to be for most people that age. So I definitely would make this larger. And that's all I have. I hope this has helped. Thank you very much for your time.